So Dragon was your big commercial breakthrough.
I actually felt while doing that emotion. Now I don't know how to explain it, but middle of the night I'm getting a call. Sai wants to talk to you. He's like, Kayadu, we have this one beautiful song and I really want you to be a part of it. I think it's going to blast and you're the perfect one for it. I was like, I am game for it. I had sleepless night. Like half of my day I was rehearsing over here in Chennai and then I was going back to Hyderabad for the promotion. That's how the rehearsals happen. It's a very beautiful character, sir, and it's a very important role for the film. People would expect something like that. Starts from the look of character that I'm playing. Work with different industry. What I first thing that I do is I'll start listening to music in that language and then I pick it up, the words from the songs. It's there out there in general also. Like people do their own PR. Everybody knows it.
Mritu towels from Ramraj, premium cotton and bamboo towels. Super soft, super absorbent.
டார்லிங் ஏசி திருவிழா இந்தியாவிலே குறைந்த மாத தவணையில் ஏசி.
சம்மர் வந்தாச்சு. எங்க கிட்ட விட்டுருங்க. நாங்க பாத்துக்கிறோம்.
GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
Hi Kayadu Lohar.
Hi, sir.
Very nice to meet you.
Same here,
I
sir.
really like the work you did in Dragon.
Thank you,
I'm going to
sir.
read out something and you got to tell me who told me this.
Okay.
Kayadu learns her dialogues the best possible way. She has the urge to learn. She's very sincere. She trusts the director blindly. Foodie Max.
Oh my God. Is this Ashwath?
It is.
Yeah, I knew it. He would only speak like this.
He speaks like this.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said Dragon actually.
Yeah.
I spoiled the surprise.
Yeah.
So otherwise you might not have guessed.
Yeah, because I was wondering who can. But I don't think so. There's anybody who has spoken so briefly about me. So I've been easy guess. Ashwath
Easy
Anna,
guess.
yeah.
But the reason I asked was, you start with Kannada, you do Telugu, Malayalam, whatever, like now Tamil. How do you learn a language? Because I saw an interview with Priyanka Chopra, who started off with a Tamil film with Vijay.
Yeah.
And she said, there is no way you can really learn a language. You have to phonetically learn the lines, and that's the only way you can deliver the thing.
Yeah, she's bang on right about it.
Okay.
With me also, I really love music. So it becomes a little easier with the lines also. So when I work with different industry, what I first thing that I do is I'll start listening to music in that language and then I pick it up, the words from the songs. And then if I find those words somewhere in the dialogues, it becomes easier for me to pick it up. And then phonetically, you have to like learn the lines and then memorize it. It becomes a little tricky because you have to balance it with your emotion also, and you have to keep the lines also in a, how the director wants it, to keep it like the lip sync should be right.
Yeah.
So it gets a little difficult. But now I think by the time I have done the films, it's slightly easier, not much, but slightly easier.
Because I remember the scene where I really was impressed by you in Dragon was when you come out of the airport and Pradeep is there to meet you and you know finally that he's lying to you. And that scene was really impressive.
Yeah.
And you worked hard on that scene, I think.
I did the lines. Working hard for me mostly is doing the lines because it's not my language.
Right.
Once I am very thorough with my lines, it gets easier to play around with the emotions. And sometimes I'm still figuring out my process, sir. I am not yet to a space where, okay, this is my process and this is what I'm going to do. But for me, it's very instinctive. And at that moment, I actually felt while doing that emotion. Now, I don't know how to explain it, but I truly was at that moment. So it's not that I throughout worked hard for the film, but not just like particular for the scene, but it just came through
and
the
it's
flow.
a scene that's a strong scene, so it shows a little more.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to argue with you a little bit because I think you are already a little bit onto a process when you say something like I listen to music in a particular language. Because that is a start, right?
Yeah,
it's a great start.
yeah.
And I haven't heard many people say that.
Yeah.
In fact, I haven't heard anybody say that.
Yeah, my bad. Maybe, yeah, that's my process.
Yeah.
And maybe I haven't observed, like sat through it and think, acha, ye mera process hai, I'm going to follow like this. But now that you pointed it, maybe that's my first
What
step.
are some of the songs that you listen to get into,
Um,
like Pallichattambi?
like for Pallichattambi, there are so many songs that I discovered. One is Anuragini and Devyanganangal from Nyan Gandharvan. And
So across time.
yeah, across time. Doesn't matter.
Not just new songs.
No,
Or
doesn't
okay,
matter.
okay,
So
okay.
across time.
So what? You have somebody curate a list for you?
No, I don't have anybody, but it's just like few suggestions or someone is playing the song and I immediately like, oh, that's a really nice song, and I'll immediately add it to my favorite list and then I'll start listening to it. So I'll just like pick from here and there and
Nice. So you have an incredible list of films coming up. Like yes, Pallichattambi with Tovino.
Yeah.
Then I'm just going to read it out. You have I'm Game with Dulkar.
Yeah.
You have Paradise with Nani. You have Taram with Nivin Pauly.
Oh, that one is, we haven't started yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's just there in the
It was
pipeline.
announced.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's supposedly a film with Simbu. Okay, I'm not going to ask you anything more. So then there's Idaya Murali with Atharva.
Yeah.
There's Funky with Vishwak Sen.
Yeah.
And there's Immortal with G.V. Prakash Kumar.
Yeah.
So except for the that you made, that sound, give me a very brief sketch about how these characters are. Like, let's start with Pallichattambi.
So Pallichattambi, I think out of the all, it's slightly different. I mean, yeah, of course it is distinctively different, not slightly, but it's a very beautiful character, sir, and it's a very important role for the film. She's a very integral part, and I can say she's the soul of the film.
Okay.
I don't know now if Dijo also sees this interview. He'll be like, I don't talk too much is what he said, but I can't reveal much of the character.
okay.
But whenever you will see her in the screen, I think that warmth will be felt is what we wanted to create. And she's a very like a soft spoken, yet she is very strong. So that feminine energy, powerful feminine energy that he wanted to portray, we tried doing that. So I hope it comes out like that on the screen and people love it. Yeah.
You like watching yourself on screen?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Like sometimes I'll be like, I don't want to watch. What am I doing? It's just very
Because why?
embarrassing.
Because you think you haven't given a good performance, or
No, not always. Sometimes you always think that you can do so much better than that. It's like, Kayadu, what are you doing? You could have done so much better. It's always that with me. There are very rare moments, like the moment that you said dragon over there, I was like, okay, I feel like I am also able to feel that this is good. And I was looking everywhere to everyone, and everyone is watching there throughout. They're not even blinking. So I felt, it's working.
I nailed this. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I
good.
nailed this. So
Yeah.
sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay. So you're not going to tell me anything about the other characters, right?
It's difficult. If I start talking, I think it will take a very long time.
Very long time. But
Yeah.
what? Okay, so among all these movies, except the movie, what is the most out there character that you're doing? That is so away from you.
Paradise.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one. It's very different. And I don't think so. People would expect something like that. Starts from the look and to the character that I'm playing. Yeah, that's all I can talk. I can't talk much about it.
You know, this is what I love about it, because, it's a sadistic kind of pleasure. I'm sorry, but, because you're asking a question, you don't know if the person is allowed to talk about it or
Yeah.
not, but you're putting that question across because that's your job.
Yeah.
And then the other person kind of measures their words, can I say this? Can I not say this? And you can see the wheels turning.
Yeah.
And, because this, like for instance, today I have had to wait for a long time because everything got delayed today.
Yeah.
So this
I'm
is my
extremely
little.
sorry
No,
for
no,
that.
it's not your fault.
Yeah.
But this is my little revenge, observing this, this little,
Okay.
So yeah, so that's kind of fun. So Dragon was your big commercial breakthrough. How did that happen? Because you've been obviously in films before that, but this just catapulted you into this
Yeah.
other level.
Yeah. So the funny story is like Ashwat told me that one of his AD They were just sitting, writing the script or discussing something in the middle of the night, and the AD saw one of my reel on YouTube, and he was like, I don't know what they saw. It was just one random reel, and they were like, we should cast this girl. She looks really pretty, and that's what Ashwat told me. And then later, Pradeep has also a story that's saying that, yeah, after me seeing you on Instagram and all of that, we thought of casting you because you also looked similar, the part. And then later on, when we did the meeting, we had a narration, and then I auditioned for it. He really loved what I did, and that's how it happened. Like, there's nothing like, how do I say? That was the process. That's all. It wasn't too much.
What was the scene that you auditioned for?
It was the airport scene.
Oh, it was that.
It was the airport scene.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But I completely played it completely different than what I did for the audition.
Okay.
It was obviously how much Ashwat put into me, and like when I understood the whole. And while also when you shoot for the film, it's different, right? When you audition, you don't know the character, the craft of the film,
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So later on, it was completely different.
Yeah, but when you did your first Kannada film, and from what I read, it's after a beauty contest happened, and you
Yeah.
got this. Now, did you know at that point that this is going to lead to films somehow? Was that a journey that you were contemplating? At what point did you say acting is something I want to do?
I think while I was shooting my first film, not
So
while-
before that, you did not.
I wanted to. I mean, I was exploring, but when I stepped into the process, that's when I realized that I really enjoy doing this, and
Right.
I don't think so I would want to do anything else. I loved how, and the people also around me were really into cinema, and the kind of films that they were watching and how passionate they were towards it also influenced me a little bit. And I was like, wow, I want to be a part of this and maybe explore more about
The
myself.
people around you.
Like the director.
in the movie?
In the movie, yeah. in the
Mugilpete,
movie, yeah.
that movie was.
Actually, my first film was Marathi film, I Prem You.
Oh, that came before that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That came later.
Okay.
But I shot long back, like when I was 19 or 20, something like that. Yeah.
And that was, but the first release was the Kannada film.
Mugilpete, yeah, Kannada,
right.
yeah.
Thing that you're doing currently that's setting YouTube on fire is the Sai Abhyankar video.
Yeah.
How did that call happen?
It was very random, actually. I had no clue. Middle of the night, I'm getting a call from my manager, Sarvesh, and he's saying that Sai wants to talk to you. He has something for you. I was like, Sai, of course. Like, I know it. I understood that it would be for a song or maybe something else. But then when he called me at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and then he's like, Kayadu, we have this one beautiful song, and I really want you to be a part of it. I think it's going to blast, and you're the perfect one for it. I was like, I am game for it. You send me the song, let me hear it once. And when I heard it, I was immediately sold for it. And I thought that it would be nice if I do a song which was also like very cultural and rooted and was like a wedding number. So I thought, let's give it a try and come back again.
You like dancing.
Yeah, I like dancing. I'm not like a trained dancer, but
But this has
enjoy
very heavy
dancing.
duty steps, right? It's like very energetic.
Yeah, it is. And I rehearsed it only for 2 days. I had sleepless night because I was also shooting and promoting my film Funky. So I was shuttling, like half of my day I was rehearsing over here in Chennai, and then I was going back to Hyderabad for the promotion. That's how the rehearsals happened. But it was fun. I love dancing. I enjoy dancing, but I'm not like a trained dancer or anything.
Right.
like that.
But it shows up nicely. Both of you seem to be having a lot of fun. And I think that's what people take
Yeah,
away from the
yeah,
song.
It is.
This life that you're leading right now, which is half the day in Chennai, half the day in Hyderabad, suddenly you're doing some promos for this movie there, suddenly you're going somewhere else, shuttling. You have no idea what day it is sometimes. It's like
It
whether
is,
it's a
yeah.
Sunday or a
Yeah.
Tuesday, or you like it?
I always wanted this because when you were asking me this question, I immediately went to the time when I was sitting in my balcony with no work, and I was praying to God that please give me sleepless night. I want to work back to back. So when I have this, I am extremely grateful for it. It's not that everyone gets to live this life.
100%.
And, live their dream, and I have this with me, so I'm not going to complain. Sometimes the days are very difficult. I can't deny. It's not always like a jolly day, nice.
Yeah.
You have sleepless nights. Sometimes it takes a toll on your mental peace also, which I'm realizing, because in the beginning I used to see these interviews of actors saying that it takes a mental toll. The mental health is uh, not at the right place. Now, when I'm going through it, I truly understand what it means. But it comes with it. You can't help it because you're living your dream, so it's worth it.
It's worth it, 100%, right? Because just to kind of give you an example, when somebody comes to me, they all think that because I'm talking to all these actors and directors and on film sets, and they think it's a very glamorous life.
Yeah.
But it also means that you don't have any regular days at
Yeah.
all. My schedule depends on your schedule,
Yeah.
and your schedule
Yeah.
depends on the production schedule.
Yes, so you
So
have
it's
to-
like you call me on a Sunday, I have to like either show up or not
Yeah,
have it.
you don't have your say.
I don't
Sometimes,
have my
yeah.
say.
Yeah.
And of course, you make your peace with it over time, saying that there are a lot of people who want this, and that's what it is. It's like there are so many people sitting in the balcony,
Yeah.
wanting
Thinking,
this,
yeah.
praying for this to
Yes.
happen, and you're one of the chosen few that to which this has actually happened.
Yeah.
So it's like a great thing.
Yeah.
But is there that one moment sometimes that you wish, my God, I wish I could sleep in a little extra today? That.
Yeah, of course, I do. I do have those days. I sometimes also like, because I have been constantly working. You have no idea, like just like how I said when I did that promotion and then I shot for it. Sometimes it just, I don't know. Sometimes I just cry off, like thinking that there's nothing in my control. I have to go here, there. I don't have my say. Constantly, I have to keep running from here and there. Sometimes I just blank out and I'm just lost. But I think if I don't put the hard work right now, if I don't make use of this time, I don't want to regret it later.
Yeah.
Because later, maybe when I'll be satisfied that I put in that hard work, and when I'll see myself where I want to be, later on I'll be like, okay, fine, I did put in the work. Now I can maybe ease down a little bit.
Yeah,
So,
and that's exactly what your co-star Tovino Thomas says, because in the early days he was working back to back to back to back to back, and then at some point he realized that he had reached a certain level, and now he could afford to take it a little bit easier because it was, every movie was not
Yeah.
do or die or like a he had reached that level, and that kind of thing. But when you say mental toll, and I love the fact that, thank you for saying that sometimes you just cry and let it all out, because letting your emotions out like that is one of the best ways to
Yeah.
decompress and just get rid of that whatever at that time. But when you say mental toll, what does it really mean? Is it like the next day do you wake up in a fog and you find it difficult to learn lines?
Yeah, it does happen. And sometimes there's so much like happening around you that sometimes you also like doubt yourself, you question yourself. And then it has happened with me that am I doing the right thing? Am I supposed to be here? Am I doing my job right? Sometimes these questions come.
Am I supposed to be here? Matlab,
In the
like,
sense, am I supposed to be here? Matlab, कि कभी-कभार when you doubt yourself, are you capable of doing it or not?
Okay.
No, doing here, I'm
Imposter
sorry. Capable,
syndrome.
yeah. So, and I have never been like this before. It's also because I understand immediately there's so many things that's happening with me, so it's difficult to cope up with it. But I think by time I will handle it better. But I
Yeah.
lost the question. I didn't answer
no,
that.
the mental toll.
Mental toll.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what it is, like
Yeah.
the mental stress that you go through.
Generally in industries, I don't know how it is now, so that's why I'm asking you. Over the years, what has been the heroes over some time, they started working one movie at a time. So they
Yeah.
pretty much enter a movie, stay in that zone or mode, and then get out. Whereas with the heroines, it's always been a bit of, I jump into this movie for 10 days and then that movie for 10 days. Does that still happen?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
That's how I'm doing
Okay.
all of these films.
Okay, so does it create a bit of like, just yesterday I was playing a princess and today I'm a warrior and tomorrow I'm a city girl
Yeah.
or whatever? Does that?
Now, I know, I mean, right now, for me, it is because in the beginning, I used to do only like one film, obviously, because I didn't had much options.
Right.
But now I have so many characters to do. So sometimes it gets a little difficult to also remember, okay, now you have to forget that character and be into this. But at this moment, while you are in this process, I think the techniques help a lot to remember the characters, to remember the body language.
Okay.
So I have discovered this that I've been recently like seeing a lot of method acting, like how to explore that part, because I have never, like I said, I'm very instinctive. So now I am exploring the part where like how method acting works. So maybe in this I try, remembering with perfumes. I use different perfumes for different character, and that is helping me a lot, because immediately your body takes you back to that memory.
Right.
I don't know if you have read about it
Yeah.
or not. So that's
Ranveer
the
does
first,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. That's how I've started. It it gets a little difficult, but then you have to find your way through, because you
Yeah.
don't have any other option.
Right. So that's what I was asking, like the way you're kind of a thing, because I think another interesting thing that you just said was, from being an instinctive actor, you cannot always be that, because
Yeah.
then you're just going to be yourself in every
Correct.
film.
Yeah.
Sometimes at some point you have to get a little technical.
Technical,
Like
yeah.
supposing like your normal way of smiling is this, then you've got to develop a certain way of like smiling
yeah.
or crying
It
or
also
whatever.
depends characters to characters.
Yeah.
Now, the films that I have, out of that, a few characters demand that.
Yeah.
So I would do that. A few characters don't demand
Yeah.
that. So it's not necessary to put in that much of effort, if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
It depends characters to character.
Yeah.
Like the
What's the most fun? The I don't mean nothing is easy, of course, because
Yeah.
everything. But some characters are just in your zone. They're fun. You don't like you mentioned Paradise as being totally
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
So that must probably take a lot of
Yes,
work, and
yes.
hopefully we'll get to talk about it while we're doing the Paradise
Yes.
interview. But now, what was the most fun thing that you did, apart from probably the Sai Abhyankar song?
the most fun thing. It was funky because it was already in that zone, and I am game.
Okay.
Yeah.
About which you can tell us nothing.
No, I can. I don't know. I'm very new to this, sir, so I have to be
No. I'm just like, this is really, I'm being very cruel actually. I'm not going to ask you. So it's kind of, I want to ask you about that meme thing that happened where you said you're the number one actor, and you and
Oh,
Pradeep are playing this game during the
Yeah.
promotion of Dragon, and
fake it till you make it.
fake
That
it.
one you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Okay.
So it became this thing where a lot of people said, this is not the right thing to do. And then some people were saying this thing it's just a casual, fun thing, which is probably what you guys were doing. Yeah.
That the whole thing was fully planned. That because I'll tell you the reason behind it. We were doing these interviews, and I also understand if there's nothing to ask, people might not ask you because they don't know you probably, and you haven't done much work probably. So they might incline towards what is more important, or whom they know, or the amount of work they have done. So I was just chumma sitting in the interviews, and there were not much questions. So I felt a little bad. And then I was discussing with them that, like, they're not asking much questions. I'm just sitting over there. That too, I'm like sitting with full prep, and there's nothing much to talk. So I was just feeling bad. I was feeling low. And then these guys decided, okay, fine. We'll do something. We'll get you involved into the interview. And that's how they got involved into the interview. And I got into trouble. So that was a whole planned thing. But it's there out there in general also. Like, people do their own PR. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
At least in the industry, they do their own PR. My intention of saying it was just in a fun way. It's not that I follow it. It's never been the case.
But do you believe in these numbers?
Which numbers?
I'm the number one actor. I'm the number one actress.
Chi, no.
Not at all.
No, not
Everyone's
at all.
got their own space. That's
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Never.
All right. Yeah. But were you taken aback when it became this controversy after that?
Yeah, I did, to be honest, because I'll tell you, sir, all of this, I was just having a good time and everybody was celebrating. I was living my dream, and then suddenly something just changed, and everybody started talking about me. For all this while, I was only listening to good things about me, people celebrating and loving me. And immediately there's a chatter going around, there's a lot of opinion coming, and they are talking about me. So I had no clue about it, like, because I was questioning, what did I do? I didn't do anything. It was all fun.
All we were doing is promoting Dragon.
Promoting Dragon, that's
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
But later, I learned in a very hard way that whatever you say is not going to be taken with the intention that you speak. It can be manipulated. So I had to calm down myself. I had to be like, it's okay. That's not a problem. Maybe that's the byproduct of the job that you're doing. People are going to talk about it. So
But did that also sometimes it's a little unfortunate, but many people that I speak to, sometimes like over time I've seen that they speak less or open up less than they used to, simply because now they're a little scared about how their words will be maybe
yeah.
twisted, or is it too early for you to get to that stage? Is it like, are you still relatively,
No, I'm a little conscious, so
about what you're
yeah,
saying?
what I say.
Okay.
Because when I'm very comfortable with someone, immediately I'll be the child. And sometimes when I say, I speak the things from my heart. So I don't know how people are going to take that.
Take that, yeah.
So now I have to be extremely careful about what I say, because immediately it will go on social media and people have a chatter about it. And I am a person from social media. Social media, in the sense, I have lived up from seeing Instagram and all of that. And in the beginning, I used to enjoy. And when I used to see these interviews and actors talking that it in social media is not that great, and then the memes and the comments, it takes a toll on you. And when I had to go through it, I understood it truly, like what it really means. So
Did you ever consider not reading it? The comments and all that?
I did, but eventually go back to it. So it's a very bad habit. I am still trying not to do that, but I think I will reach there to a point
That
that
evolution, the stage of
evolution.
zenness,
Yeah.
that you don't look at your comments and you
Yeah.
can say what you want.
Yeah.
The other thing that happened to you was when you appear in a kind of a strange haircut, and then
Wow.
you remember that, right?
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, she's preparing for a new role.
But
No,
that is not the haircut that I did. That's a AI generated
exactly.
picture.
That was
Yeah.
somebody's AI thing.
Yeah.
Is that also a part of, like, the fact that somebody can AI generate an image of you, put it out there, have people saying that maybe this is real,
Yeah.
maybe she's preparing for a role?
Yeah.
Has that become a slightly scary aspect of
Now I try not to think much about it, but I just feel like it's very sad that people out there try to do this for what joy. I don't understand. What do they get out of this? Like, using AI is meant to do such great things for humanity, right? And you are trying to do these silly things, uh, that too in a very, like, I have seen many other pictures. Now to this one to got viral, but there are few other things that people do it on Twitter using AI, which is not fair. And that just shows the mental state of the people who are trying to do that, which is very unfair. And I think something has to be done about it, but God knows.
but did you have you done this thing of, going to court and trying to protect your likeness from being, that they do that,
Yeah,
right?
I know
Yeah.
they do that. I don't have much idea about it, but yeah, maybe I should do that.
Because that'll save you some
Save,
headache.
yeah.
Because but about why they do it, I think it's simply because they can. I don't
Exactly.
think there's a reason for it, because now it's possible to say I like a person, but I'm also going to take an opportunity to mock or troll that person. They don't see that as two different things. So I think it's anybody that leads a public life. You could be a politician, you could be a businessman, you could be an actor, you could be anybody.
No, but I think it depends. That's what it shows, the state of that person, their mentality, I guess, because I don't think so anybody, not everybody would do that.
Yeah.
A person who is very sensible, who understands.
I would never.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So the amount of people out there who are trying to do that, that's a very, we need to really think about it, that it's a very sad state right now. Like
Yeah.
the people are trying to think and do all of these things.
But you also realize that somebody who says, I would never do that, may actually do it.
We never,
You never know.
now what to do.
Now, you're Assamese Nepali?
I'm just Nepali, I'm not
Nepal,
Assamese.
but you were born in Assam.
No, I was born in Pune.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's this Assam connection coming from?
My parents are, I speak Nepali, but my great grandfathers moved in Assam long back and they settled down in Assam. So my whole family is in Assam. But my parents moved to Pune for work, and when they had me, they stayed back for the education. So I was born in Pune. My hometown is Assam.
Right. So, when you are in Pune/Bombay, that general area, did it ever occur to you that maybe let's try Hindi cinema at some point? Did that ever?
Yeah, it did. I gave auditions. I kept on giving auditions for films and for ads and over here also. But I got my first opportunity over here. So I started working, and then back to back, I got a lot of opportunities. And then I thought that I might, if I'm getting a lot of opportunities over here, it's slightly a little easier. So why not be here and then create your own
Easier
mark?
in what way?
Easier in the sense, since I did my first film over here, like people are getting to know me better. And also, I don't know how to say, in Bombay, in Hindi, it's extremely difficult. Like this,
To
a
break
lot
down.
of breakthrough, yeah. So I feel over here, it's slightly easier.
Yeah. And I think the four southern industries are kind of networked in a way, so
Yeah.
that if you make a good movie in one, or rather, whether it's a good movie or not, but it's a hit movie in one language, the others get to know about it. So
Yeah.
there's a little bit of like a communication happening.
Yes. Maybe.
And whereas that's a little insulated, I think it's
Yeah.
kind of this one. So, do you feel this thing about nepotism that everybody thinks about or talks about?
Even if, I don't know, so like,
I'll tell you what I think, right? I think that in every field, anybody that's has become successful in their particular field, you could be a doctor, you could have built a clinic.
Yeah.
You're going to try and see if you can leave it to your kids. If you're a chartered accountant, most lawyers and chartered accountants are family practices, and it's going to go to the next generation.
Yeah.
So I think if you're going to call it nepotism, I think it's there everywhere. So
Yeah,
I
it's there everywhere.
Yeah, I don't.
And only if, and the person who deserves it, has it in it, they will stay.
Yeah.
And
So-
who doesn't,
Yeah.
it will not. So,
Because I know that some people use it kind of, they genuinely have, and I'm not saying that people who say that is wrong, they are mistaken or something. This is just my point of view. So,
I think I believe the same. Yeah.
so because some people feel that it prevents them from getting other places. So I was just like, I wanted to know what your point of view was. So yeah. One of the reviews for Mughalpete, I looked up the reviews that came out at that time, and one of them said, Kayadu Lohar is a revelation. Did you?
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Okay, so I just now you know this. You never read reviews?
No, I have never actually.
Why? Because you think they might criticize you or something like
No,
that?
no, no. No, it never occurred to me to read the.
You put out a movie and it never occurs to you to see what people are telling
My
you.
review is sitting in the theater and looking at everybody's face and seeing how they react and what they say. That's all. I've never gone to like on Google, like on internet, and read the reviews. I've never done that. Maybe I should do it.
But I'm not talking. I'm not talking only about critics, but also, now on Instagram or on like people do write, right? It's like there's a lot of stuff that's written. They tag you and all that.
If it occurs, I see it.
Okay.
Otherwise, I've never like, consciously
you've not sought out reviews.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's a way of keeping sane. That's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
How did the transitions happen from language to language? You did the Marathi film first, though it came out later. Then the Kannada film happened, and from there.
And from then, the Malayalam film, Pattam Padam Nutande. And then I did a Telugu film, Alluri. And then Dragon came. Yeah. And then Dragon came to me.
And all of these you had to audition.
Yes. All
Okay.
of these. I had to audition.
And the whole process of phonetically learning each language.
Yes, yes.
So is there a certain level of basic comfort that you have in these languages now?
In the sense I didn't
Like
understand.
as in, if I talk to you in Tamil or Malayalam,
Hmm.
would you be able to have a basic conversation with me?
I will understand, but I don't think so I would be able to
Reply?
reply.
Okay.
Might here and there. If I was only doing like one language, I think I would have been able to pull it off. But right now, I've been constantly jumping from one language to another. So one in my brain, there's a lot of languages that's running around. So it becomes difficult to stick to one language. Maybe later on, once if I get a lot of experience, probably then I'll.
So would you
Learn.
say that each language right now is probably a bunch of words that you know?
Yeah, a bunch of words and correct, a bunch of words.
Just want to, I know that you can't say much about your Pallichattambi role, but is there a day or like a scene or a shot as an actor that made you feel particularly proud of yourself that, okay, listen, I pulled this off?
I don't know, like, if I can say I pulled it off or no, but I really felt good while performing that scene. And that's the most important integral scene of the film. Yeah, that's all I can say. Maybe you can watch it in the
Yeah.
film and you can say if it was good or not.
Good or not, you felt that. Okay, so
Yeah.
maybe that will come across like the dragon scene to everybody
Yeah,
else. And
yeah.
finally, who are the actors and actresses that you look up to?
Right now, I'm obsessed with Al Pacino
Okay,
and
you're watching all the older stuff.
older stuff. Now I have been consciously, now that I'm understanding cinema more and what all happens around it, all the departments like direction and then acting, of course, and lights and all of that. So I've been discovering a lot of films, watching a lot of cinema. So yeah, I was going to
When you say
the
cinema, what do you mean? Like
Cinema in the
serious
sense-
stuff.
Not serious stuff. Films that moves you, which makes you feel in a certain way.
Like you mean more than just entertainers?
Yeah, more than just entertainer. Yeah,
Okay,
that
okay,
kind of
okay.
films. So Al Pacino, and then I really love Alia Bhatt and Sri Devi ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, I've just watched Sadma, and I was amazed by how she performed, and I just wish something like this, a story like this, happens right now, and I get the opportunity to play something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Al Pacino, Alia Bhatt, and Sridevi. That's an
Yeah,
interesting
that's
cocktail
like-
of yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of for this one. But you also like read books on cinema that
No,
you get
I
the time?
haven't. No, I haven't. Like I have only collected books, but I didn't get the time to
Yeah.
read.
But one hack, if I may, is if you're on Insta and you have there are lots of accounts that put out little bits of
Bits
all
of
these
the
things.
books. Ah.
So that's
maybe
an
I
easy
can-
way,
I
yeah,
can
because
do that.
like there's one called Persistence of Cinema. There's like a whole bunch of them. So there's like
Okay.
so that gives you lots of
Super.
things to
I'll
kind
follow
of,
that then.
Yes. Thank you so much for
Thank
your
you
time.
so much,
And
sir.
it was, it's always interesting because in the early days of somebody's career, it's not that you have been around for a while, but what I'm trying to say is that relatively early days of one's career, the interviews that you do, and sometimes when you do the interview like 5 years later, that it's such a journey that the interviewee changes so much. So if I'm around 5 years later, I hope to have
Same here,
like
sir.
an interview.
I
with
was
you.
actually very excited when they told me that I'm doing this interview because I've watched all of your interviews and I was kind of nervous because I know the questions that you ask and how the interviews goes. So I was very nervous, like, Kayadu, you have to be very much aligned.
What you like? What are the questions that I ask? It's like a casual
No,
question.
casual questions, yes. But still, I was a little intimidated because this
Like
was my
which eyelash did you exactly move while crying in this particular scene? I'm never going to ask you that. So it's
no,
like-
no, not like that. But just
Yeah,
saying,
okay.
because I'm just starting, so I'm just new for all of this, and everything is very like, wow.
But you do come across like a very confident person because I watched some interviews of yours to get a like I do that when I've never met the person before just to get an idea of their
Yeah.
energy. And in your interviews, you do come across like a fairly confident person. Are you a confident person in real life?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, you do come across. That shows in your interviews. So,
Thank you
all the
so
best for
much. Thank you so
Pallichattambi.
much, sir.
And it was pleasure. Thanks.
Same here, sir. Thank you so much.
Mritu towels from Ramraj, premium cotton and bamboo towels. Super soft, super absorbent.
டார்லிங் ஏசி திருவிழா இந்தியாவிலே குறைந்த மாத தவணையில் ஏசி.
சம்மர் வந்தாச்சு, எங்க கிட்ட விட்டுருங்க, நாங்க பாத்துக்கிறோம்.
GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.